Or wouldn't it be better to find a more stable family? Two responsible adults who want a child and who can take care of a child.
I don't know, Mom. I really don't.
I think that a lot of people can relate to each of the characters and each of the characters' situations.
They're great kids trying to figure out life.
Each of them are so different from each other. No character in the show is like any other character.
Everyone has a little Adrian in them, a little Grace in them, a little Amy in them.
She's having Ricky's baby. It's not mine. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I think the teen writers do an incredible job of making it real and making it very heartfelt.
All the drama? Well, hope you have a minute. First of all, there's Ricky and me. He was my man at first, and then I find out he got some other girl pregnant.
Grace and Jack were together, and they were pretty faithful and hardcore.
All of a sudden, she broke up with Jack because I messed around with him while they were dating.
But he tries to get back together with me, and then Adrian hooks up with Ricky, but then Ricky wants to hook up with me.
And then all of a sudden, she's like, ooh, Ricky, who are you? Let's talk.
So then I start going out with Ricky, but then his dad comes, and so he doesn't want me to get hurt, so he breaks up with me, and it's ruthless, and I cry.
So I kind of became her friend, trying to find out what's going on between her and Ricky, because Ricky was obviously interested in her, because she's a virgin.
And then Jack kind of comes back into the picture, and I kind of get weirded out because he starts dating Alice. And then he starts dating this girl named Shauna, and then I get jealous of Shauna.
So there's that drama. Am I missing anything else?
It's not just his baby, it's your baby. And you're carrying her and you're giving birth to her, so she's more yours than his.
So it would seem right now. Even though there's been hard times as far as what Amy agrees with and what Ben does not agree with, you know, they stay together, which I think is cool. I mean, I never had a high school sweetheart, but that's real cool if, you know, Amy has this man that she can be with for the rest of her life.
I love you.
What?
I'm joking. Relax. Bye.
There's a lot of relationship drama. Everybody's kind of been with everybody.
This show deals with so much relationships that we actually bleed it into our real lives. It's all the girls in Megan's trailer, and we talk about relationships. We're like, yeah, why do they do that? And no, I hate it when they do that. So we always do that. We always exchange relationship advice.
Let's see, families of the show. Well, starting with my character, Amy Juergens, her family has their issues.
They kind of, you know, it's your typical, I guess, average family that's dealing with their daughter getting pregnant.
You have the mom and the dad who have issues with each other as well in secret. So even a family that appears picture perfect has issues down deep, which I think is true in lots of families across America. It's true in my family.
You cannot turn my garage into your apartment.
The garage belongs to the man. Didn't they teach you that in women's studies?
I think that it's nice to watch the families, even though they're dealing with incredibly heavy issues, like the daughter becoming pregnant and the parents wanting a divorce, they're laughing about it. And they have to. I mean, who doesn't? You know, at the end of the day, you gotta laugh.
If you choose to keep the baby, I can give your son the best of everything.
If I'd be a part of one family in the show, I don't know, Boykovich, probably. He's got the money.
Are you out of your mind, Benjamin? You don't have a dime. I have dimes, you don't.
Yeah, I'd probably be the Sausage King's son.
Ben has a very good relationship with his father. They're very close. I mean, they really talk about everything.
Ricky, are you sure you can't tell Grace this yourself? We can tell her. But she can hear what you have to say without any judgment. She can.
Yeah, because she's a Christian. You're all Christians.
One of the interesting things that happened this season is Grace kind of realizes that her family isn't perfect. I think it's a weird thing when you're growing up and you realize that your parents aren't perfect and that they were teenagers in their 20s once too. So that was kind of interesting to explore that.
And then there's my family, where we're not so all-American. That my mother isn't really home, so she leaves me home most of the time. I didn't have a father at first, so I'm pretty much raising myself.
I think it'd be cool to be Adrian for a while and just like have that freedom and have parties and have people over whenever I wanted. But I think it would get old pretty quickly though. I think the Bowen family is pretty cool, actually. I don't know if I'd trade.
I really love my character, and I'm glad that it's in the show because I know a lot of girls go through that. When my dad finally came into my life, in Adrian's life, a lot of girls hit me up on my fan site and stuff, and they told me, you know, I went through that. And it's okay. I'm glad I saw this because now I know I'm not the only one.
I hope you're not planning on keeping the baby. I don't think you'd make a very good father.
Everyone's all average except me and Ricky. He really doesn't have a family. His father had to go to jail, so he's with a foster family, so he's going through different issues. So So I think he's just trying to prove to himself his manhood. I don't agree with the way he's doing it by sleeping with all these girls and breaking their hearts, but that's just how he's handling it.
Everybody that is on the show and watches the show knows a family or has a family like someone on the show, and I think everybody can relate to some family or another in here, yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with so many characters and everyone's their own hero. Of course there are gonna be scuffles.
I feel like Ricky and Ben, they have a lot of rivalries already, and they're gonna have so many more. Think about it, if you were Ben and you were in love with Amy, but she was connected to this other guy who you didn't like at all by a baby, I don't know how it's gonna work. There's always gonna be the two dads things. I'm the real father, no, I'm the real father.
So you two made up, huh?
Did Amy tell you that?
Oh, let's not be so insecure, rich boy. At least not so obviously insecure.
There's drama between Amy and Ashley, because I think Ashley's a little bit bitter because of what Amy's done, but she's trying to control it, but they kind of have their thing.
Grace and Adrian definitely have their thing going on because they're jealous of each other because of Ricky.
There's a fist fight involved, actually. It's pretty heavy. There's some hair pulling.
We actually rehearsed that scene before we did it. As soon as we got the script, they're like, we have to, just for fun.
We were so excited, so we got together a couple nights before we filmed it and rehearsed it in my apartment. And my roommate came down and we were like screaming and pulling each other's hair, and she was like, what's going on?
And then we went on set, and it was a little different from what we rehearsed, but still like really fun. And there were a couple times where she really yanked her head down. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I really yanked you that time, my bad.
Hey, employee of the month.
Make fun of me all you want, George, but I love working here.
There's obviously a lot of drama between Anne and George, which I think is so funny to watch. I think it's hilarious.
Why can't you do it?
Because I have to find a job.
You could not have more like really strong moments of immaturity between the two of them, but you know, that's everybody. You can't be cool, calm, collected 100% of the time. So yeah, I would say that sure, maybe everyone behaves kind of foolishly occasionally, but who doesn't?
All the characters on one level, big or small, go through some sort of moral dilemma.
I think Ricky's battle with right and wrong is he's 16, he's having a kid, so there's a lot of responsibility going along with that.
Ricky is trying to piece back his life together, you know, after the kind of very horrible childhood he had.
He kind of like uses that as his medicine to kind of just go from girl to girl, you know?
I can't hear you, just say it.
I have birth control pills.
With Grace, I think it's just sticking to her gut and not having sex with these guys, whether it's Jack or me.
She struggles with her religion as well as just being a normal teenage girl and fitting in, and I think that's a lot of people struggle with that. I had a lot of friends growing up who struggled with that. She wears a promise ring, and that's a promise to God and her family, and that means a lot to her, so it would be a big deal to break that.
Each one of our characters battles with right and wrong, and that comes into play with Jack, his relationship with Grace, and whether or not to have sex.
He's a guy, so he really wants to, but he, you know, feels really guilty, and he's already made some mistakes, and so he struggles with that guilt.
My baby needs a stable, loving home with 2 adult parents. We're not adults, and you're not even the father. As far as Amy's character, she's, you know, battling whether it's right or wrong to keep the baby or give the baby up for adoption, and I think that's a major decision.
She made a mistake and she had sex and didn't use protection or anything. The fact that they didn't use protection, let me put that out there. If you're gonna have sex, use a condom.
You know the right thing to do. You do the right thing always.
Right or wrong, we're married.
I don't think that the show, you know, glorifies or memorizes anything in any way with the relationships between the characters.
Personally, I don't ever think there's a right or a wrong. I think it's kind of a gray area. It's an individual experience. It just depends on the situation and, you know, the people around the situation.
Teenagers, they do right and wrong. You know, things happen. But just think positively, and then you're going with your intuition, like some of the characters, like Grace and stuff, and you're good.
Favorite character on the show? Without fail, Alan Evangelista and Amy Ryder, they crack me up, like, without fail.
What about Amy?
I hate her after what she did to you, going after Ricky like that.
That harlot.
I'm in love with my character. I just have so much fun playing her.
I'm gonna say Jack's my favorite character.
Huh?
Jack, he's my boy.
I like India's dry sense of humor. She's just a monotone, but it works so perfect, you know, and I think she's great.
You know, I can just walk.
No, you can't. It's 5 miles.
I could use the exercise.
I'd have to say George.
I'm married to what's her name? You.
It's just really a joy to watch.
I think Jack's the coolest character. I think Greg Finley does an awesome job. He's the man.